We may find a class that provides 80% of the functionality that we need for our application. In order to use that class for our application, we may decide to augment the existing code that defines the class. However, this may impact other users of the class. To avoid this, object-oriented development provides us another option. We can inherit all of the attributes and functionality of an existing class. We can augment the functionality within our class and even add attributes within our class while taking full advantage of the functionality and attributes of the class from which we're inheriting. In the object-oriented world, the class from which we are inheriting is known as the base class or the parent class. The class that we're creating that is inheriting from the parent or the base class is known as the child class or the subclass or the descendant of the parent class. Object-oriented development allows us to reuse and extend an existing class for our own purpose without affecting the original implementation of the class. So how do we create this parent-child relationship? In PHP, when we define our class, we use a new keyword called extends. When we say this class extends and the name of another class, that tells PHP to take all of the content of the parent class and include it as part of the content of this new class. Then anything we add to our class augments that existing functionality and that existing set of attributes. And depending on the accessibility adornment of the parent class attributes and methods, we may have direct access to those within our subclass, our child class. Within the child class, we get direct access to anything in the parent class that is declared either public or protected. The protected method is defined for use in these inheritance hierarchies. By definition, protected accessibility means that the public has no access to either those attributes or the functions. However, any child class has direct access to those attributes or functions, methods within the parent class. Often we may want to change the behavior of the parent class. For example, the parent class may have a function named myBaseClassMethod that has some behavior. And in our child class, we would like to redefine the behavior for the function named myBaseClassMethod. We'd like to give it other functionality. To do this in the child class, we simply create a function with the same name. When a user of our class then calls the function myBaseClassMethod from our class object, they will execute our class object's code associated with that method, not the parent class code. However, there are circumstances where within the child class, we may want to access the functionality of the parent class method within our override method. To do this, we use the keyword parent and 2 colons, parent : and the name of the base class method that we're calling. This tells the PHP preprocessor that we want to go up the hierarchy chain and execute the code in the parent's function of that name. So let's go look at some code.